On the flip side, though, we do have Vexed Gaming, and not only Vex, but Aurora, team we had high expectations for coming in. They're in the bottom 10 teams right now, so they will have to step up here on World's Edge. Guess what? Gameplay is ready. The dropship is flying across World's Edge. Game number 4 for Emea, day 3. Ladies, take it away.
Thank you so much, Fallout, and I'm excited to jump into World's Edge because I gotta say, no bias, but World's Edge is obviously one of my favorite maps, and I'm excited to see how the bottom end of the overall leaderboard is gonna work into what some of these teams need to do to put themselves back on the board. Like what Fallout was just saying, I was expecting more from Aurora.
Hey, you know, I kind of was too, right? Like, they are so strong. And I think this is a moment where they maybe need to reassess, right? You've went down through 3 maps. So now we're going into that second half of the series. We are moving on to World's Edge. It's kind of that fresh start. And we're getting that ring that's going to pull up towards the countdown landslide area. So a lot of these teams like Game Ward, Horizon, they're going to find a little bit of success because they're not going to have those large rotations. Whereas someone that might be landing Big Mod, the Dome, you're going to be traveling halfway across the map.
Yeah, and you know, actually talking about Big Mod, Lava City, etc. Scars getting all the loot in Big Mod is great, but usually when we see a squad land in Big Mod, they also have some real estate in Lava City, and that's actually going to be shared by Foot Esports. So they're not only going to have the loot in Lava City, they're also going to have the beacon. So you could expect an early fight maybe going down, depending on Scars wants to play this. If they want to stick to their overall patient playstyle, though, they may just prioritize rotating instead, like we've been seeing with a lot of these other squads that want to be able to work into the Newcastle and Watson compositions the best way that they can. Now going into World's Edge though, Tiff, I have to ask you, looking at start of fight, looking at the fact that they're still sticking to the crypto and Watson, are you expecting any compositional swap-ups from some of our teams now that we are on World's Edge?
It's kind of hard to say. Maybe 1 or 2 might elect to make that change, but we saw so many teams finding that comfort in that Valkyrie Horizon that I think if you're going to play that on Stormpoint, you'll probably keep that team composition the same moving into World's Edge. Caustic's still very viable here on World's Edge as well, especially if you're going to have to bunker down in some of these buildings. I think it's going to prove fruitful. You see LFO Forever, they've still got Crypto, Watson, Valk, so it may be kind of few and far between, and we'll note it as we see it, but right now I think they're going to play what they're consistent with.
That's such a good point, because that could be the name of the game for a lot of these teams and what they are playing into their biggest comfort. And as you can see, LFO Forever, Light, let's just quickly take in the jump tower just to let everybody know, hey, you know what, we're here. It doesn't matter though. There's no beacon where we wanted to go originally, where you usually see that building that's to the south of where LFO is actually rotating towards. Sometimes you do see a beacon there, and that beacon is spot over really early in the game by any teams that are exiting Skyhook, any teams that are leaving Fragment West. So with this quick rotation from LFO, they're looking to get ahead of the curve on top of any other teams because they want to be able to get that beacon, especially with the fact that they have crypto. You can see some teams already getting ahead of the curve here too, already landing over here by Lava Fisher.
I kind of like this move, right? Game Ward pushing into Lava Fisher out of Countdown. You get the benefits of getting all of the shields from Countdown in that middle area, and now you're able to utilize that information, especially coupled with the crypto drone. Well, I mean, if you can get out the door first, totally fine. No, don't block the drone inside, everyone, but at least you can open doors. You can do a lot of things with it, but you're going to be able to scout out your rotations, those nearby teams, and you can see right now, someone is looming nearby. The question is, are you going to be kitted out and ready? And if you're gonna run a shotgun wingman here, now I'm just having flashbacks of like bald skins and rank.
Trying to get a little head glitch too off to the side of the crate here. You know, that's usually what I'm used to seeing with the bald-headed wraiths that play in my lobby. The Game of Drones, though, taking their time as well, already securing the real estate inside of this building, landing some shots with that G7 with the 3x scope and the purple extended light max. So great resources that Game of Drones are working off of, as well as playing a little bit split up here to secure this entire side of the train tracks. The beamage off the 30-30. See Vex getting a knockout to start a fight, but there's a lot of teams that are actually already in Lava Fisher, and this is nice to know because I believe Start a Fight getting away from Lava Fisher, they're just running with their tails stuck between their legs because Vex is holding the real estate on the other side of this train cart, where you can see right here inside of this building. So they were able to sandwich Start a Fight. Now they're going to be able to have extra loot to work with. You can hear the EMPs going off, but they're not going to be leaving this area anytime soon, because in the off chance that the circle continuously pulls towards Lava Fisher, they're going to have a nice advantage not only on the high ground, but with this circle clearing their backs.
Yeah, and this is one of my favorite areas of the map is that building. If you're going to be bunkered down over by Lava Fisher, having that real estate, although Vexed is saying, you know what, we're moving on to bigger things. You can see right now they've got their eyes on this teammate trying to go. Gonna hit the geyser and just reposition, say, I'm out. Unlucky, just looking to make some connections and start a fight. Gonna go down at the hands of the Slayer, Tyler FPS, but not at the cost. Matafe going under some punishment right there because you know everyone is looming around, and who better than to be looming in the darkness? It's gonna be Reply Totem.
My face is buried in my hands because for some reason, they gave up the real estate for what? 10, 15 seconds to chase after that one last member of Start a Fight. In that time, Reply Totem says, thanks for the free real estate. They're going to be able to move in. They're going to be able to pressure Vex. And now Vex need to reset, but the beamage coming in from Jazaz with the pizzazz. I mean, Reply Totem now backing up. They're going to be able to get the real estate again. With the Watson, this is exactly what works into their team comp. They're going to bunker down with the fences, but they have to look out for the other squads in the area, like E6, like the other squad that we tuned into earlier, who actually had the crypto drone flying around too, because that crypto drone is going to delete all the hard work that these walking fences went out of their way to set up.
Well, I mean, but in the defense, they are just some happy little fences. I love it. But the question is, where did Vexed Gaming go? Because you know all of the teams have begun their rotations into this Lava Fissure checkpoint area. And so that requires the question of, where is Alliance coming out of Thermal Station? They've had to have begun their journey. So they will be coming into the mix, and anyone that lands Southside as well is going to be making their way. And Reply Totem is going to be lying in wait in their fortress, just kind of peering out with that 2x4 on the R301. You have the mid-range distance, and now you just wait. What is that next step? We still have 19 teams left in the lobby, so it's still so healthy. And as we pull further into this zone, what free real estate will be available? Because there's bar none.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. There's so many squads that have already made their appearance over in Lava Fissure. Again, it's just control for these beacons, especially on World's Edge, that are play so useful as a part for a lot of these teams that are running these bunker down comps with the Watson, the Crypto as well. You can see Alliance holding onto the high ground, wondering if there's a beacon right to the south side of where Monde is, but you can see them getting pinged off by another squad that's taking control over the high ground closer to staging. There is a beacon in staging, so that squad, I believe it's Foot Esports who makes that rotation in that direction, is going to actually be able to have that information already ahead of the curve from Alliance, who have the beacon behind them, but are they going to be able to get into that position where they're not going to be contested?
Hey, speaking of contested, it looks like Fire Beavers is going to be taking out V2 off screen, so a lot of spiciness going around. Fire Beavers keeping it hot, and that sounds so funny. I just like that. It's so cute. I just picture little beavers on fire, which sounds horrible, but I like it. I like it.
You can see it as the Beavers having a hot streak, okay? Because right now they definitely need it. They want to be on fire. They want to continue on that domination, taking out another squad. That's 2 squads out of this lobby right now. 18 squads left. Alliance taking their time. We saw what they did before. We saw that they're willing to play the edge of the circle, take their time. Yeah, they don't have a beacon to their feet, or usually see it on the high ground on top of that geyser, but they're going to be able to overlook the chaos that is happening across the field from that geyser. What's happening in Lava Fissure from a high ground perspective. But Esports, like we were talking about before, this is the team that was taking some shots onto Alliance, but decided to back away, prioritize their positioning, with the Seer being the only one having a gold Evo shield. They're in a very vulnerable position. But Esports, you can tell, haven't been involved in a fight just yet. They're also playing this patiently, but this could bite them on behind for any other squads that are going to be able to sandwich them.
Yeah, this is not the Foot Esports that I was used to seeing that became so dominant, taking that God spot away in that end game and going on to win that match. I don't feel comfortable with 2 white shields and a gold shield going into that end game, but something that I saw that a Nene team had done last week, that was going to be FaZe. I just want to hype on them. They had a gold shield on their team, but they shared it to conserve resources and to heal up. But now let's cut on over to Alliance right here on the top of this rock, getting fired upon and pressured from the right side. Yuki going to spot it out, call it. They do have that Skyward Dive available to them, but I just don't think that is going to be a wise move. They have a God spot on this team pushing into zone, and this is your moment to descend upon them and punish them for even trying to put some shots onto you.
I was wondering, the squad rotating from the southern side is going to be Corpa, but they do have the Valkyrie as well as a Skyward Dive, so I can expect them taking to the skies. They don't want to risk getting gate kept here by Alliance, who's been waiting there patiently on Pride Walk to actually contest any of the other other squads that are rotating for that choke point. So with a longer rotation, Corporate says, all right, you can take that real estate. We're going to wrap around. They're going to get the information necessary for any of the other squads rotating here. And there's 2 squads in the area. Corporate saying, all right, we're going to take out to the high ground, but they're not in the circle just yet. They still need to inch a little bit forward, and they have to keep their eyes to the squad that's to their right as well.
And I think that was a really smart move for them. Sure, just stay on this bridge, keep that high ground, share your resources. You have 2 golds and a purple. You are kitted and ready to go for that mid to late game. And this is how you need to stay there. Just keep that trio alive and make sure that you have that ability. But Sierra Exhibit going out to garner all of the information for those nearby teams because they're descending upon the trailer in front of them. They have the health advantage, and it's going to be spicy.
We got a listen and available. Let's see how this fight goes down here between Corpa and Nightmare.
Drop down.
Drop down.
I drop. I'm fine. Dropping on me. No. One second. Box 100. 1 HP, fight.
Crypto.
He
Yeah,
almost
crypto. Not crypto.
The box.
Block almost cracked.
You got this.
Oh, he's the last guy? I thought it's 2 more.
Yes, last. One shot. Thirst him.
Yeah,
Thirst him. Maybe go to the ring if you can now.
Do it, yes.
Let him get the thirst. He got the thirst. I'll go to the storm. Yep. You should be fine, I think. Very smart. Step backing, yep.
Dude, we had bad comms and I thought it's still 2 alive. I would have played so much more aggressive.
I didn't hear any comms after I died. You can easily get banner, I think, invest staging.
The red is here, yes.
I don't know, bro. Wait, 1 second. What is top right, Zay?
What an intense end right there, too. You could hear from the comms, they were not happy to hear what went down, the pressure that the team was in before they lost out on one of their teammates. Fire Beavers now making appearance to this fight, and it is going to get chaotic real quick here, Tiff, because this is not just the third party, but I did say right behind Fire Beavers that there is a 4th party that could be coming up from behind them, wondering where Alliance is going to end up rotating since now they're forced to play off the low ground before they make their way into Lava Fisher.
Hey, we were talking, Fallout was asking, what are we going to see when we go to World's Edge? Well, I guess it's no longer third parties. We got the 4th, the 5th, the 6th. The whole lobby is fighting at this point, and Fire Beavers looking to come out on top, wreaking havoc on Nightmare Esports, taking down Denze. And this is going to make, you know, OJ the kill leader. This is what they needed. We were talking Dark Horses. Sure, Impulse is going to fall, but they should be able to just kind of take down the rest of the teams, firing, doing all the damage they can to kind of see, hey, can we keep the pressure so Impulse doesn't get fooled? Because the moment your player gets fooled, it's going to be a lot harder to get that beacon back up and get him into the game. But the res going out right now, a little bit of calm before the storm, and if they can stick this, it's going to be a nice reset for them.
This is beautiful. Yeah, not only the reset real quick, the Evo shield swap, so that way you can get right back into that next circle, because while you're focused on trying to pop the med kit, you got to get moving. That circle is closing in behind you, and that's a lot of damage that's going to be fleshed out if Fire Beavers isn't ahead of the curve. I'm worried about what's waiting for them on the other side of that circle. I'm wondering if Alliance was able to already go for a quick rotate. Yes, they're underneath the bridge. This is what I was wondering, because they were going off the low ground originally, and this is a great spot for them to also circle keep the chaos of the fights that went down on that train tracks.
Oh, this is going to be spicy. Horizon going to get cracked and all the damage going out. I love the positioning here. Mandy using that grav lift to try and get an LOS. It has a thermite ready and willing to go and just kind of wreak havoc. You are holding that edge, but this is going to be a punishment, right? It's a high risk, high reward, because there are teams in zone that are going to keep a line of sight on you at all times. So make sure that you're securing your backside so you don't have that pressure from other teams. Meanwhile, Corpa going to fall as well. But the question is, how is Alliance going to get out of this situation, and can they take down Vex, who has the clear high ground advantage on them?
Yeah, they have the positional advantage. They got the wingman shots landing, but they're also out in the open for other squads to take some shots at them. So squads that are actually controlling the edge of that circle. And Corpa could not get out of the ring, unfortunately. They go down to the hands of Scars as Vex Gaming are backing up for right now. They have the information with the Seer being on their team. They're going to use that heartbeat sensor to call out where they're going to end up rotating, because with the squad taking shots at them from across the field, they don't want to lose out on the opportunity of maintaining this real estate and putting themselves in a vulnerable position.
Yeah, and this is always the most hard part of a map for Vexed Gaming, right? They start off so strong. Their 3v3s, their micros are so fantastic, but the cohesiveness is going to have to make sure that they can take that trio and get them into that next zone. You can see just on your left hand of the screen kind of where it is pulling, and Alliance and Vexed find themselves just on the outskirts, and Fire Beavers descending upon them as well, looking to get into that action. And now the question is Alliance going to be able to get out from underneath of that bridge? Because that is not where you want to get stuck.
This is going to be so hard. I feel like Vex could cut off their rotation, and they're going to be sandwiched between Fire Beavers and Vex. Tough situation for Alliance to play off of, but Hockeys, he needs to land these wingman shots. He's got the Digithreat, he's got the Skull Piercer. He can put in a lot of impact as he tosses out the Arc Star, tries to get out of the range of the Exhibition. He's close to getting his own ult, but with the circle closing in less than 10 seconds, they need to start moving soon, whether it be from the low ground or if they're going to force their way into the high ground versus Vex Gaming, who also need to do the same rotation.
Yeah, but I like this positioning from them. It's that building, right, that we saw Reply Totem in after they kind of took it when Vexed Gaming had left, but they're going to hit to the skies. Take that skyward dive. This is such a gamble. Alliance as well doing the same thing. The issue is there's literally no real estate, so you're going to have to find a clear spot, but you never want to be the first team to hit that skyward dive because everyone's eyes are going to be on you. Alliance looking for a safe space, but will they have found it? I kind of like taking the bridge. Sure, longbow shots are coming in, but you've made it out relatively unscathed as Reply Totem is going to fall at the hands of Vexed.
And they were dancing through these bullets like they were already part of the Matrix out here. Alliance getting able to secure the underside of Thermal Lava Fisher is so important. Game Ward now looking to capitalize right here too. We saw so many skyward dives, double black hole. Game Ward, all right, gonna be able to delete all of the chaos, all the space that they were denied, but they're stuck in between two squads here. You can see the shots coming in from the high ground, a nice little cheeky angle while trying to get out of the line of sight of the crypto drone.
Oh, this is going to be tough. They need to get the reset on to aimbot before people realize that they are a team of two, but I think they have just said, hey, you're a lost cause. They make their way into the lava, and they are just being fired upon from above in the form of IG. Graceful trying to get the reset there onto JMW, but not going to be able to stick it just yet. You do have that Nox gas ult available to you, and you can see Noises right now. A great IGL just kind of scouting out that line of sight with the crypto. This gives you a full lay of the land because there are so many teams available, 9 squads remaining in such a small space. Being able to really control the area and anchor it down, utilizing those Nox gas traps is going to be a key to success. But the fact that Alliance was able to find open real estate and just evict whoever was out here, which was, I think, Game Ward, well done.
Yeah, they have a chance to breathe for right now before Game of Drones, where you saw on the feed with the Craver shot from Rondon, was able to pressure out IG too. So both sides of the circle getting contested, as Horizon also going to be able to take some shots. Lackluster ammunition though with the flatline right now, only working with 25 bullets. You see the ult from the Watson coming in clutch, negating the damage from that Arc Star. Horizon literally playing for their lives, but we know who exactly is on the other side of that grenade. Going to be able to pressure right through the walls. It's the Mad Maggie, it's Aurora who want to make their appearance.
And to make their appearance, they do, and I love the aggressive nature. They also have their Caustic ult available to them, which means you know that no one inside this building is going to be safe if you take that ult to the face. But look, so many more people trying to get in on the action. Horizon jumps in, 0-0, trying to stay alive. Mimu is going to fall. Urban and Zero trying to keep the dream alive. They take down Light. They're just decimating. Get that reload, descend upon them, team shoot them, and LFO Forever is going to be eliminated. The question is, can you get a good shield swap and get your health bar reset before the squads descend upon you? Because you are basically put a bullet on your bat. But Vex Gaming has made it to the end game, Vicky.
Oh, and E6 and Alliance, I think, took out each other with some assistance from Game of Drones. That was insane chaos. Look at the graveyard at their feet. What happened to E6 and Alliance? They got blown up. Game of Drones are going to walk away happily with this. They need the KP. 5 squads left in this lobby, and Game of Drones have not left the security of the buildings within Lava Fisher. I believe Vex is still out here. We have Rondon popping up with the rest of Game of Drones. IG, who's still alive, who were able to get a reset, as well as Aurora and Horizon.
Yeah, we did see a knock come in on the hands of Vex, but what the fact is, if Game of Drones is going to be cohabitating this area with them, they're not pushing. They're not pressed for that situation, but come on over to Aurora. They're fighting for that real estate against Horizon. All the damage going out, able to grab and knock, and that's going to be all they wrote for Horizon. Going for a quick reset is going to be Aurora. Now 4 squads remaining here in map number 4. The question is, will IG, will Vex, Game of Drones, or Aurora come out on top?
You gotta see, I mean, you do got the caustic in the hands of Aurora, and you see that ultimate accelerator being popped. You know that that Nox grenade is gonna be available and ready for that final circle. You gotta get ready for any of these other squads. IG rocking the Loba still. They've been rocking that black market on the other side of that southern circle for quite some time. See the Mad Maggie putting in some extra pressure. IG International looking to take their time, but they're taking a lot of damage while they're forcing their way into that circle.
Ooh, this is gonna be spicy. Sure, yeah, this is not what you want. But Aurora, this is what you want if you're Aurora, because you've been able to throw down those Nax gas traps. You can shoot them. You can essentially barrel crawl and hold off anyone that is trying to make a play for that. And sure, maybe you got a Craver, maybe you want to put some line of sight on, but now Aurora has to make their way across this bridge into the fight where essentially all of these teams are collapsing upon each other. So barrel crawl your way, Aurora. You can do that. You can see noises on the screen right there, taking a lot of damage, going to fall graceful as well within a centimeter of their life. Now JMW last alive, and you are just basically getting punished by every team in the lobby before you fall. Now 3 squads remaining. Aurora sitting incredibly pretty. This is the moment where you just bide your time and you shoot at every single other person. This is chaos.
Oh, Aurora have the game-winning position, though, right now. They are looking fantastic, but do they know that there is another squad directly underneath them that is Game of Drones? Everyone needs to get funneled eventually, but Aurora need to hold on to this high ground. Where are they going to rotate? Are they going to get on top of the rocks? Do they want to secure this KP? They see Vex getting a lot of these KP for them, and they get wiped out first. They didn't win the trade originally. Now they're forced to drop down, and Aurora are the winners after having the positional advantage and capitalizing off of having way more health in that last fight.
Vicky, my mouth is open. My jaw is dropped. Aurora played that so patiently.